Benji. Should we tell them stories? Remember when stories? Do you remember the first time I drove us to Yosemite? We're driving to Yosemite right now. And this is our 4th time. Our first time was a year ago. Mommy didn't know she needed glasses. She didn't know that her vision was compromised. I'd never done the drive before. And I was new to everything. Driving the little Ford Transit Connect, driving these roads, not knowing that I couldn't see shit at night. And we hit these roads. I pushed myself because I was ambitious, and I overestimated my skills and underestimated the complexity of this drive. This drive is no joke. Anywhere that you want to go that's pretty, it's going to take some work to get to. And it's all relative. People who do this, who live out here, this must be no big deal. But for us flat Nebraskans, switchbacks and challenging, winding roads and high elevations with big drops and that, I was so scared. I felt every bump, and I felt every curve, and it was pitch black, and there's no lights out here, and there's no cell service, which I didn't know that either. I didn't know there's no cell service, no Wi-Fi, no nothing. How many hours have we been without cell right now, Benji? I don't know. It's been a little while. No gas stations. So like even right now I'm nervous. Like shit, we need gas. They need to have some gas stations out here. You want to get rich? Put some gas stations out by national parks. Because this one's tricky on the east way coming in. Okay, so that drive, I was white knuckling it and leaning in, and I couldn't see, and I was so scared, and I just had no idea what was to the left or the right of the road, and like 4 feet in front of us. It was so bad. Just couldn't see anything. We did that for hours and hours. This whole drive through Nevada, but once you get into this, I don't know, 100, 200 miles out from the east entrance, is just a real trek. And today it's taken me a different way. I've not done this way before. And it's broad daylight, and I have glasses, and I'm in a big van, and my nerves are still feeling every bit of like discomfort because I don't know where we are. There is no cell, no Wi-Fi, no gas stations. Then like, how many miles until we get to Lee Vining? We need some gas. Okay, so remember, Benji, when we got there, and I Overlander app, we got to Lee Vining, and I just didn't know anything about, I was learning about boondocking and dispersed camping, and Yosemite's real strict about camping inside, car camping, like sleeping in your car inside park lines. And so I had seen on iOverlander that you could stay at that Lee Vining gas station, that mobile. I didn't know nothing about nothing. I'd never done that before. I was so scared. I thought we were gonna get in trouble. I always think I'm gonna get in trouble. I just don't know. I didn't know. We got ourselves that first night and saw the sunrise. I got to see where we were, that view. I have felt since that trip, and still, this giddiness of relief and joy, and when we get through the tough stuff to get to see something, like I hadn't even gotten in to the drive in, how steep and how challenging the drive once you get into the park lines to get to the valley, that Tioga Road. It's a doozy. This bumpy, windy road does make me think, I wonder if this wasn't the one they did take us, Siri took us to the first time. I have a million remember whens about being scared, not knowing what we're doing, and being on an adventure. We left Yosemite on day one and went into California. I went on a California road trip. We went to the coast, and we went on the beach and saw the surfers, and then I didn't know that I couldn't see, and I thought I was going to do that Highway 101 drive to Big Lake Sur, and all, because it was during COVID, all the state parks were closed. I did not know that. No cell service, you can't call and you can't Google when you're doing these drives. And I did not know where to park. I couldn't see anything at night as soon as the sun sets. I had to pull us off on the side of the highway and sleep. We didn't sleep. It was hot and I was terrified. There were truckers nearby. I didn't know where I was. That was the beginning of what it was going to be like to boondock and disperse camp and learn my way through it all. Which, by the way, it's totally okay to do. It's legal and it's okay. You need to be safe. There's spots for this stuff. But I just didn't know nothing about nothing. I'm still learning. What else remember wins? We want to thank everybody for who's been sending loving support our way. I didn't expect it. I don't expect it. Where are we? What the hell? And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for anybody. You know who you are. Not anybody, but the somebodies. The somebodies. Sorry, I'm trying to focus on where I am. The people who have sent us generosity and loving support. We're super grateful. Didn't know what to expect with costs, and so gas, and we don't eat out. We've not eaten out once. No hotels. There's none of that nonsense. That's not happening. But you can take peanut butter jelly sandwiches a long way. But we're super grateful because things just cost more. Leaving Omaha, leaving my hometown, leaving that apartment had costs that I didn't foresee. There's no deposit coming back to me, and they charged me $1,000 on top of pet deposit because they wanted to replace the carpet, which they should because it was disgusting when I moved in. But that's how corporate apartments go. I've been a homeowner too. Homeownership has its own challenges too, so I'm not complaining about renting and the costs of leaving. And it's been a blessing not having rent right now. I'll tell you what, because that's one thing that's off my plate right now. So anyway, super grateful to everybody, and gonna get focused back on this drive. Just doing remember ones because they're so pretty, these byways and these highways. They're so pretty. I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so pretty. But they are challenging. I think you Californians and people who live in Nevada and Utah are very